Report.ca. I just want to make a quick point here that my name used to get dragged through the mud a year ago, and now nobody wants to say my name anymore, but they do want to convey that it's me they're talking about. Check this one out. This is from the Brampton Guardian newspaper, all right? Brampton mayor troubled by Friday prayer controversy in Peel schools. Troubled, huh? The salary she gets, nothing bothers her. Brampton Mayor Linda Jeffrey has released a statement denouncing some of the hateful speech around how Muslim students are allowed to pray in Peel schools. Okay, so she's doing the same thing as every other left-wing politician out there that wants to keep their job. I am troubled by the misinformation, fear-mongering, and outright falsehoods being spread by some, Jeffrey wrote in her March 9th statement. Peel is one of the most diverse regions in Canada. We not only cherish diversity, we celebrate it. Okay, so Peel is diverse. 53% of who's here is from somewhere else. So, it's just Muslims that want prayer in school. This is not a Sikh or Hindu or Jainist or Satanist or Christian issue. This is a Muslim issue. All right? You understand? This is Islam. The accommodation of Friday prayer for Muslim students has been a contentious issue this school year. Okay, well, it should be. Recently, the board announced that it will stop taking delegations on the matter. I think she meant to say deliberations, depositions, but whatever. Though there is one more individual whose deputation has been deferred until March 22nd. Unfortunately, that's not me. The controversy first surfaced when administrative changes to an operating procedure were met with resistance from the Muslim community last fall. So the Muslim community, they're the ones that started this crap, okay? So what we're trying to say is, in Canada, your sermons cannot be full of hate and anti-Jew rhetoric and anti-Israel rhetoric and pro-Palestine rhetoric, and that's the type of garbage that I'm sure was going on in these schools. So the Peel District School Board tried, not all that hard, I'm sure, to tell Muslim kids they could not write their own sermons, that anything in Arabic had to be pre-approved. I agreed with that, but they're cowards, and they gave in to the very, very small percentage of Muslims that we have in town and are allowing kids to read whatever terrorist rhetoric they wish to read. All right. When Education Director Tony Pontes, remember I told you about that guy? Canada's biggest coward and most useless adult male, presented a solution to the issue of censoring Muslim student sermons for Friday prayer on January 10th. Board meetings have filled with crowds opposed to religion in public school. In her March 9th statement, the Brampton mayor reiterated many points previously published by The Guardian about Muslim prayer in schools, including how Friday prayer has been going on in Peel schools for about 20 years, as well as how religious accommodation is required under the Ontario Human Rights Code up to the point of undue hardship. So if you can't pray in school on Friday, you are suffering no hardship whatsoever. I've made it very clear what my position is on this stuff. There is no Allah. It's all fantasy. These are books that were written centuries ago, not to enlighten you, but to control you. It is 2017 as I speak. I'm not interested in any 1400 stuff, 6th century stuff intruding upon my life here, and I don't want to pay for it. Oh, here she goes. Ready? I strongly condemn any form of discrimination, any form of racism, and any form of hate, Jeffrey wrote. There is no place for it here or anywhere else in Canada. Okay, if that were true, then what you would have done and what the board of directors of the education head office there would have done is said, if we grant you the right to pray and write your own Arabic sermons that we can't police, that would be intolerant. We are not going to be intolerant. We're going to treat you the same as everybody else, which means you get no special privileges. And that way we're helping you be stronger people. So she's full of crap. She's full of it. There has been a great deal of public commentary at meetings and online regarding religious accommodation in the Peel board. A great deal? It's taken over the internet in Southern Ontario. One of the board's critics, I think this is me they're talking about, has been former Mississauga mayoral candidate Kevin Johnston. They always forget the middle initial. That's okay. He was given a cease and desist letter, which he ignored, last week from the board's legal counsel for alleged defamation. Again, alleged. If they thought they had a case, they would have sued me and served me by now, instead of that lawyer. You know what? I'm going to call that guy again. I got to talk to that lawyer. The Peel board has confirmed that Johnston is now banned indefinitely from its properties, including schools and administrative offices. I have to clear that up too. There is no court order that says I'm banned. There was just Tony Pontes, the country's most worthless and useless adult, writing a letter to me. Actually, he didn't write it. His secretary did, telling me that I'm banned and not to come. But I'm going to be there anyway, and I'm going to film it, and the videos will be up as quickly as I can cut them. Director Pontes said in an email that Johnston has been issued a trespass to property letter. And again, the Education Act, Section 207, says that I can be there. And I will be there. Oh, here's the last one. Tony Pontes, gutless beyond reproach, did not call me to tell me this, has never said this to my face. If Johnston were to come onto board property, Pontes said, we would notify police and he could be arrested and charged under the Trespass of Property Act. You notice how we said could. Woo! There you go. Papers. There you go. Could. I know I'm still using lined paper. I know. Could. Not will. Could. Because he's not sure. He knows that I'm reading the Criminal Code of Canada, and he knows that I'm reading all of our statutes in Ontario about being on public property. And he knows that I know the loopholes to be there. And I'm telling you that there is a loophole for me to be there legally. And if their security guards tell me to leave, well, I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. It's not violence. I'm not talking tough. It's just going to be really expensive for them. Anyway, more on that at a later time. So even Brampton Mayor Linda Jeffrey, who's been completely silent on the issue of Islamic indoctrination in Canadian high schools, now decides that she wants to indirectly say, I don't like that Kevin J. Johnston guy because he's like honest and I don't know how to counter that. Oh my God. Linda Jeffrey. Well, Brampton, you elected her. And this is what you're getting for your tax dollars. A woman who's not even brave enough to use my name, even though she's talking about me. Who am I? Who am I that the city's lawyers could not defeat? That's how afraid she is of stepping on my toes. Truth is, though, she should be, because she knows that I would be at her front door at some god-awful hour in the morning, serving some type of legal document, filming it with the very same camera that I'm using to film this right here, right now, and then putting it up online for all of you to enjoy. And then they'll send me cease and desist letters, which I will read to you on the camera, and you know how this works. The only way to get what you want from me, Mr. Pontes, is to point a loaded weapon at me. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. You wouldn't have the balls ever to point anything at me. All you do is get angry and say, why don't you go home? That's what you said to me last time we talked. And of course, it wasn't talking. It was just you barking. Anyway, people, that's it. Kevin J. Johnston here. freedomreport.ca. See you soon.